we had decided at that point that for us to really grow, we needed to finish our actions completely. And at that point, we may as well throw a barrel on them. And we had stocks available, so we started making our own line of custom rifles. And it was a full custom shop at that point. We tried to do was change the company around and go into a full production line, but we wanted to maintain some of the custom features that we did. So we started out with our very first production rifle, which was the American Standard Rifle, the ASR. President is stealing your lands. Show me one for sale sign since President Trump has been in office. Show me one for sale sign. Well, we as hunters need to be more vocal, and we need to stand up. Grown up being an elk hunter, and that's been my passion. I love hunting elk more than anything.
Welcome to the RNA Outdoors podcast, fueled by Ripcord Arrow Rest and First Light Hunting Apparel. At RNA, we are public land DIY conservationists that love to share our passion for the outdoors. So join us and our team as we interview professionals in the industry to share insight knowledge that helps make hunters and anglers more successful. Hey listeners, subscribers, and fellow outdoorsmen and women. This is your host, Lucas Paw, and I'm excited to tell you about some of the sponsors that continue to help make this podcast not only happen, but grow and thrive in this digital world of audio content. This podcast is brought to you by Ripcord Arrow Rest, the bow hunter's #1 fall-away rest on the market. Ripcord is known for 100% full-time arrow containment and their patented drop-dead brake system that eliminates launcher bounce back. Best of all, Ripcord is backed by their rock-solid guarantee. If the original owner has a part break for any reason, it will be repaired or replaced at no charge. And did I mention, Ripcord is located in southwest Montana, where all their products are made with pride in America. Check them out at ripcordarrowrest.com and on their social media feeds. This podcast is brought to you by First Light Clothing and Hunting Apparel. Born in the Rockies in central Idaho, First Light's mission is to create simple, yet proven, versatile gear that provides comfort and performance in any situation while working to promote the pursuit of ethical hunting and stewardship. I recently joined the First Light Pro Staff team and have continued to be impressed year after year in their innovations in engineering of merino wool fabrics. 10 years ago, they started putting out wool fabrics with camo patterns, and immediately this changed the game. Since then, they offer multiple layering systems and kits in various proprietary patterns and continue to raise the bar with their competition. Find them online at firstlight.com or under their social media feeds. Go farther, stay longer.
Wah, 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 wah.
Really,
Okay.
all you need to hear is Jason.
Give me your phone. You go stand over next to the Montana sign. I'm going to take a picture of you two schmucks.
Okay.
And then we'll bloop out everything that you guys say that I don't like. Smile. I said smile. Oh my God. You guys are worse than girls. Okay.
You two look so cute. You guys know each other? One more.
Just one more.
Okay.
Okay. Big gun, go boom.
That's right. Good stuff.
Uh-oh, I'm at the end of my rope. Amazing how that happens.
I've been at the end of my rope for years.
Wow, story of life, right?
That's right.
That's awesome.
Man, we get to sit here and look at mossbacks.
Right.
Dude,
Jesus,
that
it's
is
like-
just disgusting.
Yeah, and then
a
just
little
dream.
distracting.
Yeah.
Man.
I walked through there earlier and I was like,
Yes.
There's not an animal in there that you wouldn't shoot.
Even
first
the
time you saw
cactus
it.
buck is nice.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
That's just nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, that is absolutely, for one man's name to be associated with that much, and that's all this year. Isn't that, well, except for the spin around.
There's a couple 16s.
The
but
world record ones
the
are on a
Spider Bowl,
different
yeah.
little thing. But
Denny's Spider Bowl.
wow,
Incredible.
that's just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Okay. You
Okay.
guys ready to go live?
Oh, wait a second. Do I get to do the thing?
Yeah, you can cue me in, brother.
Okay, so you got to look. Are
I'm
you paying
watching.
attention?
I'm
You're
watching.
watching?
This is
Okay.
why I bring him.
Is
This
this
is the
it?
only
This
reason.
is it.
This
It's
is
in
it.
5, 4.
Welcome to the show, listeners. You are tuned into the RNA Outdoors podcast. I'm your host, Lucas Paw, coming to you from the showroom floor here at the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo in Salt Lake City. And again, joined here by my illustrious sidekick from the NRA, Mr. Jason Quick. Jason, welcome.
Wow. Hey, I've upgraded from just sidekick to illustrious sidekick now, Jeff.
That's another level.
Well, it's
It's
synonyms.
another level.
I got to figure out the synonyms. So.
Another level, buddy. And we have my good friend Jeff Sipe here with Montana Firearms Rifle Company. Man.
Premier podcast with Jeff, might we
Yeah,
say.
man, that's right. First time.
And his first time. We're going to actually get him so hooked on podcasts, he's not going to get any work done anymore. No more talking on the road. He's going to be listening to us hunting and talking about hunting stories, which, hey, I want... Okay, you own a gun company, and you produce awesome guns, and we've been dealing with you through NRA for quite a while. But let's back up a little bit. Give us a little history about yourself.
Oh boy, that could take a long time.
No,
That's
I
a
want the
long
short
history.
version. The short version.
Cliff note.
Where are you at? Where are you from? What you been doing?
I'm actually born and raised right in Kalispell, Montana, right where our manufacturing facility is at. So I am a
Oh,
true
geez,
blue
now you
Montana boy.
You two Montana boys.
I'm a long family history in Montana, so I'm actually fifth generation from the Flathead Valley, which makes it hard to leave. You know, you love a place like that. It's hard to go anywhere else. I've been all over the country. I graduated college from Dickinson State University in North Dakota. Joined the Army.
The Blue Hawks.
And amen. That's right. Go Blue Hawks. And went there on a wrestling scholarship.
Okay.
Joined the Army after college to do medical research. Was going to go to medical school. That was going to be my whole life. And got sent to San Antonio and worked at the Army's Institute of Surgical Research, which is their the burn research unit. So we worked directly with the burn unit there at Brooke Army Medical Center. Did medical research there for 3 years, got out, did medical research again, was going to go to medical school, and just got to the point I said, I don't want to go to school for another 8 years. I want to move on with my life and do something
live
fun.
life a little bit.
And so my dad had started the rifle company, Montana Rifleman, which was his barrel manufacturing facility, when I was still in high school, and I've been around it, most of my adult life, and just because it's something that our family loves to do. It's not just something for us to do during the 3 months of the year. It's literally our lives. I mean, it's what we love to do. If I could hunt 12 months a year, I would do it. And,
Oh, gosh.
And obviously,
can I help
Colorado
you?
will tell me you can. So
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, he just found you so
Yes,
he can do that.
so he can do that,
instead
yep.
of you finding somebody
Yep.
like him.
So I am the one that does the things so people can go do those
There you
12
go.
months a year.
Absolutely.
So I've been around it for that, for a long time. Jumped into it after different things, from being a stockbroker for 4 years to doing finance to doing mortgages, just stuff that I wasn't me. And came back to work for my dad, and it just blossomed from there. It was something that I just fell in love with.
What year was that when you came back?
When I came back officially, it was 2003. Yeah,
Nice.
Like I said, I've been in and around it for years and years, but in 2003, I made the jump and said I'm going to go into it full bore, and came on with my dad, took over his sales program, and kind of the rest is history from there. Just been
When let's see, how many years ago was it when really you took over the company?
well in if you've ever worked for your father, I can tell you that it's a headbutting experience.
Love him dearly, though.
Yeah, we butt heads a lot, and I think because we're both such stubborn individuals. I had left and went to work for some friends of mine over at Kimber, and worked in the sales department there for a couple of years. And my dad offered me the rifle company to take over it specifically, so he could focus on his barrel company. And I just jumped at the chance. In 2007, I went full force into the rifle company and changed the company because what my dad had for the rifle company was just an action manufacturer. That's his premise was he wanted to be a parts manufacturer. He wanted to manufacture actions. He wanted to manufacture barrels.
Send them to somebody else. Let them do all the fine work.
Let them do that. Yep. And the problem that we ran into with manufacturing actions is that. And not to knock a lot of the gunsmiths now, but I think a lot of the old school gunsmiths will agree with me. Gunsmiths that come out of school now aren't your traditional gunsmiths that can literally take a block of steel and file an action out of it. That the guys now they're assemblers. They know how to work parts. They know how to do parts, but they don't
truly forge a piece of
steel into a firearm. So. We had decided at that point that for us to really grow, we needed to finish our actions completely. And at that point, we may as well throw a barrel on them. And we had stocks available, so we started making our own line of custom rifles. And it was a full custom shop at that point.
And what year was that?
2007.
2007. So really, that was about the time that I met you, and you got involved with Friends of NRA and started producing guns. And you were actually the Gun of the Year one of the years for us.
Yeah, that was a huge year.
Pretty exciting stuff. But even before that, I remember calling you and going, "Hey, look, I need a limited run of 10 guns. We're trying to do this." We even made some special runs, which actually one of Lucas's good friends bought at a live auction dinner banquet. And then a while later, he was like, "I'm never going to go to Africa," and so I bought it off of him. Like third or fourth round, I'm thinking I am Superman. So I got a 4.58 lot.
That's right.
I'm ready to go shoot an elephant is what I'm ready to do. But anyway,
Jeff, just looking at kind of your line here, I mean, there's multiple lines of firearms. Maybe just speak briefly to some of the different lines and kind of what you have to offer, maybe from the entry level person up to maybe someone who's looking for something a little more custom.
You bet. So what we did was. We'd had the custom shop for a lot of years, and what we tried to do was change the company around and go into a full production line, but we wanted to maintain some of the custom features that we did. So we started out with our very first production rifle, which was the American Standard rifle, the ASR. Okay. And that was going to be just a base grade, field grade walnut stock on a blued steel barreled action. And that very first year that we started our production rifles was the year that we won the Field and Stream's Best of the Best award. And that kind of pushed us into some other lines that we wanted to do from there. So we went into the Extreme Weather Rifle series at that time, and that was really our first series, which we would call our X1. We called it the Extreme Weather Rifle at the time. And we were using some other manufacturers' stocks, and that's when we decided that we wanted to make our own stock. And so we developed a mold that uses some of the finest carbon fiber products available today. It's the same kind of stuff that's used on race cars, high-end race cars.
Okay. Wow.
And it's a pre-preg material, so uses heat to develop, and we were able to really start cranking some better products out the door at that time, and that's when we developed it from the Extreme Weather into the X2, and have grown that X2 platform to this year. We announced the new X3, which is a lighter carbon fiber stock, same structural integrity, but we were able to take out 3/4 of a pound out of the X2 rifle, and so the new X3 is going to be a new platform this year.
Weight is everything in this game. If you're looking at ultralight,
and we started developing some other platforms. The ALR, with the American Legends rifle, which is a higher grade wood, and that was the one that was chosen as Friends of NRA Gun of the Year in 2016. And to be honest with you, I got to thank the NRA for pushing us to do that, because it was one of the things that we worked on with them, that they said, this is what we want. If you can do it, we can do this, and we can possibly do some other things. And we went to the drawing board, developed this stock how we wanted it to come out, and it just turned out beautiful. It's a true XX walnut stock. It's got real ebony grip and tip. It's just a classic-looking, beautiful rifle.
Beautiful piece.
And that developed into the American Vantage series as well, which is more of your dangerous game, big calibers, your big bores.
Craig Boddington in here on the dangerous game rifle.
Absolutely, yep. And we've got... we really developed a good working relationship with a lot of the major writers in our industry. And that's obviously a big benefit of ours. But in order to get the word out, you want them to love the rifle. And if they do, then
good things come from that.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, I have to say, I've been a big fan for a long time of the guns, and it's really great seeing the development from really, we'll call it the fledgling, we've got an action, to, now we've got umpteen different versions of the firearms available. Version 1, version 2. I'm sure that there's a version 3 coming out. I mean, the mind always is circling like that. But your lightweight rifle that you were talking about, what's that coming in at now?
Sure. So the X3, the short action cartridges are going to be about 6 pounds. 6 3/4 pounds, I should say, and the long actions are going to be just under 7 pounds. They're coming in about 6 pounds, 14 ounces, 6 pounds, 15 ounces.
That's still great, really great. And like I said, I've got a few of your guns, and I just love them. I love the Model 70 3-stage safety. It's always as a kid, my dad, of course, the first gun that I really bought for myself was a pre-64 Model 70, and as soon as I saw your guns, I was like, okay, I got to have one of these, and so I really, really, really do like them. Now, a lot of people don't know, you're from Montana, so let's talk a little hunting. I mean, come on.
There's my love.
There's your love.
I'm seeing the past, present, and future, and I'm seeing some nice animals here with Jeff.
Actually, what he's doing, folks, is if there's any high-end company that's wanting a spokesperson to just go hunting all over the world,
that's me.
He's
please.
Looking for a new job title. So no, I was just kidding. He'd never give this company.
I've tried to ask Colorado if he needs a sidekick on his show, and he just laughs. Says, well, you can come once in a while, but
come once in a while.
Can't steal the thunder.
What's your favorite? What's your fix?
I grown up being an elk hunter, and that's been my passion. I love hunting elk more than anything. And because of my passion for hunting elk where we live up in the high mountains, that's developed my passion for mule deer. And, I know thousands and thousands of people whose total life is just about whitetail deer, and that's just never been a push for me. I would prefer to hunt the high mountain muleys pretty much over anything. And then obviously because I'm chasing elk is when I run into the muleys where we're at.
We have a saying, if you have a deer tag, the big elk is going to be there.
That's right.
If you have a mule deer tag,
that's right.
the big coos deer is going to be standing there.
That's exactly
the beauty
right.
of Montana is you buy your general license, you get your elk and deer tags, right? So then you can hunt them both and extend.
You guys are both just being mean to me.
That's
because
right.
While he's moved out of Montana, he's a Montana boy. So once a Montana boy, always
That's
a
right.
Montana boy.
That's right. You
He's
get
like,
the benefit.
He's got 2 or 3 or how many tags did you have this last year, Lucas?
I had an antelope, a deer, and an elk.
That's awesome. Yeah. We had a pretty good season this last year in Montana. With my wife and I both drew Missouri Break elk tag, and we both got really nice bulls. My oldest son shot a monster muley, and my 10-year-old son shot his first deer, shot a nice mule deer buck, and then my wife and I both had antelope tags, so we both got an antelope, and then I was blessed to draw a special unit Alaska caribou tag I got this year. And went up there with Joe Latart from Alaska Wilderness Enterprises and shot a caribou that is the Boone and Crockett director was just here for scoring, and it's going to be in the top 50.
Good for you.
Wow.
Was it a mountain caribou or?
It's Barren Ground.
Barren Ground, okay.
Yeah, and it was
so
huge.
Way up north.
Scored 420.
Holy cow.
I can't remember, 429 or 428.
Wow.
4 something big.
Once it's over 4, it's like
it's huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
So is a lot of your hunting, I mean, so Kalispell area, obviously, you know, you're in the Whitefish area, Kalispell. I mean, is it Bob Marshall? Are you in the wilderness, or are
We've gone up into the Bob Marshall wilderness. We've done some of that hunting, hunted through the Swan. We hunt out west. We've done the North Fork. There's a lot of the northwest Montana that we hunt. We've got, my dad has a really nice place in the northwest, and if I said where it was at, he'd probably hunt me down and shoot me here. So he typically likes to tell people when they ask where it's at, he says it's in West Valley. So, well, we've got a beautiful cabin and beautiful house up there, and elk running everywhere. I shot 4 years ago, I shot a 367 class bull, and I think we've taken, I don't know, a couple dozen out of there in the last 10 years. So it's a beautiful area.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm not far from the breaks. I grew up in Chinook Sugar Beater, so yeah, right on the High Line, and then spent some time in Butte where I went to college. So I know a lot where your area and kind of where you're at. And Montana's always been a great place. And I think about, you know, for a rifle company, it's got to be a great place to not only have a business but also build rifles. Very friendly and you know, Second Amendment friendly in that state.
You bet. That's a big thing for us, and that's why you see so many new ones popping up over the last 10 years. We've seen a dramatic rise in firearms manufacturers in Montana, and it's just because it's not faux pas. I mean, everybody there is a believer in it. Everybody there loves guns. They're not afraid of them. And
well, that's what kills me. You know, being from the NRA and being a constitutionalist really is what I consider myself. You know, the Second Amendment upholds the rest of the Constitution. So for me, Amen. It's all about that Second Amendment. As long as we, the people, have the right to bear arms, we are in control of our destiny and our country. And I hate to say it, but our country seems to be drifting in directions that I don't like. And actually, with the new administration, I'm feeling more optimistic about our direction. But there for a while, it was doom and gloom, in my opinion. And I didn't know where we were going.
You're right. And there's a big push in our industry right now to tear us down from within, and just in the hunting industry, not just in the firearms industry, but the hunting industry. And there's a lot of organizations that come out and they have names that sound like they're all for our hunting industry, and they get people like you and I to join in and give them your money to develop what they want to do, but they are not conservation organizations.
And a lot of times those groups,
very
like
anti-NRA. They're
anti-NRA, anti really guns.
Yep.
Well, they're activists disguised as people that are, you know, stand up for conservation, and they're not conservationists at all.
And you can call those organizations out when you see them constantly going after one political party, one specific person. You know, Ryan Zinke, our Secretary of Interior, is a very close friend of mine. He's from my hometown, and I've known him very well for a lot of years. He gets attacked by these organizations all the time, and you can all you got to do is find out the ones attacking him and not working with him, and you say, all right, I know right where you're coming from, and follow the money trail. You can see right where they're getting their funding.
Well, and I know you're a big public land guy. In fact,
Absolutely.
You and I have talked about that a couple of different times.
Yep.
You know, some of this stuff, and Lucas has mentioned on other podcasts in regards to, we feel that that's one place that they're attacking our way of life.
Yep.
You know, they want to take your guns away, but at the same time, the way they're going about it is they're not going about it like trying to get specifically a bolt-action rifle. They're like, oh, well, you really don't need a 50 caliber bolt-action rifle, or you really don't need that little pocket pistol that's really cheap. And it's the same way when you switch over and they go, okay, well, maybe if I could take away their public land where they go to hunt, maybe I could get them to no longer be able to hunt anymore.
Well, and what those types of organizations are doing right now is they're trying to split our industry by pointing fingers at a specific party or a specific person to say they're trying to take your lands. You know, look at these crackpot organizations that have taken out page ads in the New York Times. The president is stealing your lands. Show me one for sale sign since President Trump has been in office. Show me one for sale sign. You know, and then they want to jump in and destroy from within. They want to go after a specific party again by saying that decreasing these national monuments is stealing your public land. No, it's wake up, people. It's still public land. They haven't sold a dime. They just made more access available for the public.
Well, it's the recreationists. Think about, it's beyond hunters. It's the hikers. It's the climbers. It's the mountain bikers. I mean, now they're getting involved because national monuments and other places where they like to play, they're not going to have that opportunity anymore.
Right. That's
yeah,
right.
Shutting down that land, I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, it's our land. It's land owned by the government. The whole thing that we're set up is so people can enjoy it. Well, you put gates on it and you say, oh, I'm sorry, this 1,000,000-acre area, we don't want you in on. Or, okay, well, you can go in there during certain times, but not other times. Dude, what is going on with our world? These people want more restrictions on themselves. That just doesn't make any sense in my world.
Well, we as hunters need to be more vocal, and we need to stand up. And that was one thing that then candidate Trump, when he came to SHOT Show before the election in 2016, he told everybody there, he says, the problem with you hunters is you don't vote. And he was right. Most of the hunters they stay out of a lot of political stuff. Most people are pretty conservative as it is, and they don't want to get involved. And we need to.
Yeah, we need to be involved. We do have a voice.
We all
have a voice.
We have to say it.
Well, Jeff, this has been great. Maybe just talk a little bit about, just so the listeners can hear, what's kind of your price point stepping into a Montana Fire? You said a couple of your entry levels, and then maybe walk up to more of the custom lines.
You bet.
What's that look like?
Yeah, so our ASR baseline rifle comes in retail right around $1,440, so just over $1,400. Our baseline synthetic stainless steel rifle comes in just under $1,500, so it's $1,495. Most of the other rifles are right in that range, between $1,400 to $1,700. I'd say the majority of them are in that range. And then we have some higher price products that go up into the PH style stuff, 338 Lapua, 505 Gibbs, things like that. That's a little bit higher.
Sure.
And then we have some package deals like the Colorado Buck package, which is really an incredible, basically getting a full custom synthetic lightweight stock a rifle with 100% stainless steel, Cerakote on top, flats brake, with a scope package, turreted system for under $3,000. It's wow. It's a pretty good point. So that's where most of our packages are at. We keep them in that $1,500 range plus or minus.
Cool. And if people wanted to check out your products and that stuff, I'm assuming you're online?
Absolutely. Our website's montanarifleco.com. We have a Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page, and those are starting to grow and more. We're getting more involved in the social media every day.
Yeah. It's kind of the world we're in, right? If you're not in there, you're behind, essentially.
That's exactly right.
And we're here on your first inaugural podcast. Of course, then Colorado Buck walked by and said, I got to go do a podcast. And you're like, oh, great, I can't get him to do this for me.
I got the lucky job of doing my first. So now I'll get to do more.
And look how painful this was, man.
That's terrible.
It was awesome. And you know what's the best part is when I draw my sheep tag, Lucas has already promised to come to Montana and do the sheep hunt with me. You'll have to come down. We'll sit around a fire.
Do a podcast on the mountain with a sheep.
Yep,
got it.
Damn right. That's going to be awesome, isn't it?
Deal. I'm in.
We're talking the brakes, right? I mean, that's you got to draw the 680 tag.
That's the only one. Yeah,
that's the only one.
Oh man, right now I just want to go hunting after being in this show, seeing all these mule deer and elk, and then going to the full curl where I'm like, oh, I gotta go shoot a doll. Oh, I gotta go shoot a stone. Yep. I'm like, I don't care where it's at. Just give me a tag. Tag gods, please be kind to Jason this season.
Yep.
Well, Jeff, I make a few trips up to Montana every year to see family, so if I'm in the Flathead area, I'll have to come by and
love to have you.
Shake your hand and see your facility, and
you bet.
And would be neat to check that out. And I've always known Montana, Rifle Company's been in Kalispell, just haven't had an opportunity to do that. So I'd be looking forward to that. So
we love you up there.
Awesome. All right, Jason.
That's
once
it,
again,
brother, man.
Thanks. Oh, as always.
It's been fun. Now we get a short little drive home.
Yeah, short 12-hour drive.
Short 12-hour drive.
But we're gluttons for punishment.
Yeah, sign them all up. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate everything you do for the NRA. Appreciate everything that you do for the cause. And I know you're a big supporter of the Second Amendment. So
absolutely.
Yep.
God bless you, man.
Likewise.
And safe
You bet.
travels.
Keep doing what you do, Jeff, and we'll get you on another time. And
Sounds great.
And keep making good products.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care. Thanks, listeners, for tuning in, and we'll catch you for another adventure on the RNA Outdoors podcast. Hey, everyone. This is Lucas Paw, host of the RNA Outdoors podcast. Please check out Podbean and iTunes. If you have an iPhone or iPad, go to the podcast app on your device, search for RNA Outdoors, and hit the purple subscribe button. When doing this, it will automatically upload when new podcasts are loaded, and they will download into your queue. For Android users, you can access the podcast through Podbean, Stitcher, or use our website, www.rnaoutdoors.com/podcast. In addition, under the RNA Outdoors podcast channel, please leave a review and a 5-star rating. These reviews help boost our popularity and outreach. You can also follow us on our social media outlets, Twitter at RNA Outdoors, Facebook, RNA Outdoors, and Instagram, Rod and Arrow Outdoors. All links are in the show notes as well. If you like what you've heard, we hope you'll pass along our channel to your friends and colleagues. Keep up the good fight. We cannot sit by and watch the public lands devoted to wildlife protection wither away. There's simply too much at stake. Make your voice heard, speak up, and get involved with conservation efforts, and know that every little bit helps. As we say on the mountain, go farther, stay longer.